Well, hello there, my fine gardening friends. How the devil are you? Welcome to an extremely chucking it down with rain in showers very violently, May the 10th. So that's why I'm in the greenhouse again, although fortunately it has stopped raining now. So like I said, May the 10th, I'm planting, or should I say sowing, my hot loving plants today, I think. I've got lots of different seeds that love the hot loving things like pumpkins, etc. that I'm sowing today. May the 10th, you might think, oh, that's a bit late, but but by the time that they'll get going, and they do, once the heat comes, they actually love, they really sort of motor on once there's a bit of heat. So I find if you sow them a month back, we get all excited, and they just they don't do anything, and then they'll get a bit leggy if you're growing them in a greenhouse. So might as well just wait until now, and I won't be planting them out until another 6 weeks anyway, because even in June, when the frost has gone, it's still a bit cool for the your warm loving plants, so they just sort of loll around feeling sorry for themselves. So it's not even worth planting them out until sort of late June, but it's worth now getting the seeds going. So I've got lots of different warm loving seeds that I'm planting at the moment, but first I thought I'd give you a little look around the greenhouse, because there's lots going on now. Lots of things have germinated, I've been potting plants up, etc. So why don't we have a quick look to see what I've got going in the greenhouse before I go on to what seeds I'm going to sow in May. Here's some of the chili plants that I overwintered in the house, starting to get some leaves there, got some growth on this one here. So that's got a good base, good framework to produce lots of hopefully fruit later on in the year. And this one's already flowered and given me a single chili, so looking good there. Here's some lettuce that I'm going to put in this little pot. I'm going to put a couple of green ones in there as well, and I'll put them by the back door, and they'll be like cut and come again for a few weeks, so that's good. There's some sweet corn I just planted today. What else we got? These are the chilies that I've sown this year. What have we got here? Oh, that's a pepper, California Wonder. Some red Thai chilies, all sorts going on there. These are some Siberian wallflowers that I'll be planting out later on in the year. More of the jalapeno peppers that I've managed to overwinter, so that's good. I've just planted some sunflowers. They're today. Lots of things going on here. So tomatoes that I sowed about a month or so ago, they've got their first true leaves, so I potted them up. What else we got? Lots of dahlias that are coming up. I planted them a month or so ago, giving them protection for the frosts, getting them going, and then I'll either put them in pots or I'll take them out and put them straight into the ground, but it gives them a good head start in here. More tomatoes there that I need to start potting up. Here's some of the spinach, etc. Planted that a bit close, but they're starting to get near enough ready so I can start picking the leaves, just like an interim crop before tomatoes will all go in here later on when it warms up and they've grown a bit more. What else have we got? So lots of cosmos that I sowed earlier, and some zinnias, more of the sweet peas, more cosmos. Here's some jalapeno peppers that I sowed before, getting their first leaves. Here is a pelargonium that I overwintered in the house, and I've taken some cuttings off that. More dahlias, banana plants, cannas, etc. that are just starting to come through now. So lots going on in the greenhouse at the moment, as even on a rainy day. There we go. So as you can see, lots going on in the greenhouse. Excited with all the different plants. And I get equally excited all the different flowers that are growing in here and will be growing. And there's lots of colour, as you can see, in the in the flower beds, just on that flower beds at the moment in the back garden, all the tulips are starting to come out, and the daffodils, grape hyacinth, and all sorts of different things there, giving a bit of early season colour for me here in the Optimistic Garden. But lots and lots and lots more colour to come, hopefully, especially with these, you know, these lovely sweet peas that always produce lots of colour and scent on, hopefully, on that that climbing frame there. That will give them something to scramble up later on in the season. So at the moment I'm doing a bit of butternut squash, Waltham butternut, and these are seeds that I took from the actual squash last year, October 2024. So hopefully they'll be even more used to the conditions that I have here, so that will grow even stronger for me. So that's good. Oh, I tell you what else I've got going on at the moment. You can see down there in the actual veg beds, the asparagus is coming through really strongly now. I had my first few asparagus this week, absolutely delicious. I sautéed them this week, just a bit of butter, a touch of olive oil, absolutely beautiful. It was really nice. So that's good for the next 6 weeks. Picking, I'll probably be sick of it in 6 weeks, but it's good now. So what else am I sowing in May? Like I said, it's all the hot loving plants really. Although today as well, this morning I sowed my second sowing of carrots. So I sowed my first sowing about 3 weeks ago, and they're only just starting to come through now. So I've sowed my second couple of rows of carrots. So you get the old succession throughout the summer later on, rather than all coming at once. Outside this morning, not hot loving especially, but I sowed some beetroot, the beetroot Touchstone Gold, the golden type beetroot. I need to go down the shop and get some red beetroot, but I sowed that outside. This morning I've sown sweet corn, I've sown sunflowers, beetroot, like I said, butternut squash here. What else? Runner beans. So all my different types of beans I've sowed today. So beautiful scarlet runner beans, and they always perform brilliantly in the runner bean tunnel that I grow in between a couple of beds, as you can see. Excuse the mad looking face, but they always produce lots and lots of lovely runner beans, and I do love a runner bean. Purple pole beans, Carmenet, bush beans. So I do normally sow 2 sets of bush beans. So now I'll sow them, you know, and plant them out as my first run of bush beans once the frost has gone, and then in August I'll do another set for sort of, or maybe sort of late July. I'll do another set, and I can normally keep them going just before the last frosts, give them a bit of cover, and there's some nice yellow beans in autumn time, so that's good. What else have I got going? So courgettes, cheese, pumpkins, courgettes, you call them, what do you call them over here? I can't remember what you call them over here. Courgettes, summer squash, something like that. You call them something else, but anyway, summer squash. And as you can see, I've been potting up the tomatoes, etc. Sowed them quite late, and they'll be growing on, starting to grow strongly now. It's starting to warm up, and hopefully they won't be too leggy before I get to plant some of them outside. I'll be planting most of them in this big central bed, but that's good. So there we go. What else? Cucumbers. So I sowed cucumbers today. Blah de blah. That's it, yeah. So all the hot loving beans, cucumbers, summer squash, butternut squash, pumpkins, and things like sunflowers, etc. like that I've sowed today. So those are the ones you can be sowing in May. And there's also obviously all your other things, your normal, veg, like I said, beetroot, turnips, broccoli, all that can be sown outside now. Now the ground's starting to warm up, they'll germinate quite easily, as well as carrots, etc, etc. There we go. Lots of things going on now, lots of exciting things to be getting on with too much actually. I'm getting up at I'm out in the garden at 6 o'clock in the morning until about 7:15 before breakfast and work. And fortunately I work at home most of the time, so I can do that. But I need that time because now also the pesky black fly are out, absolutely making my life a misery. But they don't get up till 7 o'clock, so that's good in the morning. In the cool mornings they don't like it, so they don't bother me there. But in the evenings now, they're there buzzing, and I've already got a couple of great big bumps come up from their bites. But they'll only be here for another month or so until it gets really hot, and they'll be off. But like I said, lots of things going on. I won't keep going on. I think I'm all excited, so I'll see you later. Job's a good one.